G'day champions, today we have a wannabe Washburn. This is a fake, and you know it's a fake partially because of the build quality, but also because you can buy it for like 400 bucks on bloody AliExpress or whatever the trash peddling and useless websites are that you use. I was just going to get this one done and out the door, but the more I looked at it, the more it started to piss me off, so I thought I'll go on a little rant as to why buying a cheap guitar like this is false economy. So I came very close to just saying no to this one after I had a close look. I didn't know it was a fake when it was dropped off, but it became apparent the more I looked at it. Partially because there's almost nothing on it that's fit for purpose. So up here you've got the fake veneer we've got to dig through to get to the truss rod nut, which is in unknown condition as well. Probably full of finish and buffing compound and stuff, but that's pathetic. And I'm always careful doing up these nuts tight enough to actually hold. Often results in them breaking because they're so thin and the metal they use is so shit. So I'm just barely going to even tighten them up, so they'll probably move around a little bit. Not great for tuning stability, but it does have a locking nut too. So locking nut, you get things like the chewy thread, which strips you out super easy. Trying to tighten the things tight enough to be able to actually lock the string often results in stripping the screws. Alright, so here's my magnetic pickup tool. You can see clearly it's got a neodymium magnet on it. And here's the little locking pieces, and they're aluminium. You can see how far that screw's dug into them, and the base there is aluminium as well. So not only is it shit threads, but it's also shit metal. Super soft. You can see the strings have already dug into them, and it's a new guitar. So that nut is not fit for purpose. It's going to strip if you try and clamp those strings after the first or second time. These things are often built just to be good enough to get out the door, and then they fail immediately the first time you change the strings. So that nut's not fit for purpose. It's not strong enough. The metal's too soft, and it's already showing some wear there. If the threads don't strip first, the next thing that'll happen is those strings will just dig into those blocks, and you'll end up with a little track there that doesn't really lock the string at all because the string's got a little house to live in. Now working down the neck, I can feel those inlays are starting to come out. They're starting to be a bit proud, and pushing them up and down you can feel them moving up and down. Now the next thing, the frets, nice and seated in the middle, but you go to the outside, hear that tone change. All the ends of the frets are lifting, so they're not rolled enough from the factory. You could try and clamp them down individually with some paste wax on the board and seep some cyanoacrylate glue under there, but the guitar's not worth that effort because that would exceed the value of the instrument. So next, the pickups. These are supposed to be a dime bag guitar, and you can see down there how little copper's on that thing. By the bottom of the bobbin there, you can see how little copper is on there, so that'll be a very twangy low output pickup. And likewise on this one, you can see how far in that tape is, so there's very little copper on those. They're just fake. You can see the ends of the frets there, not dressed very well, and a massive angle on them, so the frets, the string's going to slip off the end of the frets. And inconsistent length, as well as gaps underneath. They're somehow too short, but somehow still sharp, because they've done no fret end dressing at all. But again, not worth the effort. Down here you can also see when they've done the rebate, they've used a really shitty old router bit and probably fed it at 1,000,000 miles an hour, so you've got grain tear out there, and they've tried to fill it with black resin or black glue on the timber side of the binding there. See down here the route for the Floyd Rose, and these posts are about where they need to be to have reasonable action. You can see they're holding on by about 5mm or a little under 1/4 of an inch, so they've got lots of play sideways, and if we string it up at that, they're just going to tilt forwards until they hit this timber and then rip out. If they're not made out of aluminium, and they're probably going to snap first, so they're not fit for purpose either. Oh nope, they're actually made from steel. I'm amazed. So essentially they've routed this too deep, this area. They've routed the hell out of this area, which is okay for clearance, and there's no real structural requirements in this area. It's just for clearance of the back of the bridge body. But yeah, at the front there, you probably want to only see about probably a 3 or maybe 4mm route, whereas this is more like 8 or 9. All right, over to the bridge. It's a fake Floyd Rose too, and the body of it's aluminium. The saddles are aluminium as well. Just everything's aluminium on this thing except for the screws. What about these screws? Yeah, they're steel. Okay. thumb screws, they're steel. And it's got steel blocks in there, but the steel blocks are made out of like a really soft, mild steel, and they've already got all the gouging from the strings from just the first set of strings installed in the factory. And the next thing to notice, see how sharp it is down there on the A string. That's like a knife edge where the string's expected to bend over, so that's supposed to have a nice smooth transition down into the locking area there, but there's just a sharp knife edge almost, so that's going to snap your string right there. And to tighten those intonation screws up tight enough so that these saddles don't slip, you're probably going to strip the screw holes because it's only an aluminium base. It does have a steel insert down there of unknown hardness, but yeah, so look, I've left it a bit late in the year for this one, and this has sat in the storeroom for ages before I've had a chance to get back to it, so I'm going to just string it up and get it to play as good as it can, get it back to the customer, but just let him know that it's not worth a full setup, and it's not worth putting any money into upgrading pickups, bridge, whatever. There's too many systemic problems with the construction of it, and any money that he would have saved by buying a fake has been thrown in the bin because they're not fit for purpose. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting. One thing it has going for it, not bad timber. It looks like pretty close grain. You can see the volute there, which I don't think is how they made them at the factory, but and I'm not sure if were they normally equal, those spikes? That one's shorter than that one. Might be hard to see there, but can't remember. But yeah, the timber's actually not bad quality. It's reasonably close grain, consistent grain, no massive curls, but the routing is not great. There's some pretty messy, furry routes on the thing. You've just got those generic pots down there, and the wire's already fallen off the tremolo claw, so much work just to get it to a point where you can even play the thing. And this is brand new, mind. So yeah, don't buy these things, champions. Save your dosh, save your dollars, and get something a bit nicer, because buy once, cry once, instead of buy cheap and I don't know what rhymes with that. So buy once, cry once, they say. You know, just hide the bank account from the missus and get yourself something nice. A nice set of fake Grovers there. Scared to tighten anything up because it's just going to snap. Right, now the customer did supply this Wilkinson, what is it, M series? I can't read their writing, it sort of overlaps. Floyd Rose copy thing. The base is made out of steel, the saddles are steel. All the important stuff steel. Problem is it doesn't fit into the existing route, so we'd have to modify that route, enlarge it here, enlarge it over there, and then you've still got all those problems with the route being too deep and all of that. So that was outside the budget. It's a shame because that's a really nice bridge, but I think that would be better served in a higher quality guitar than this one. I haven't seen a Wilkinson Floyd before. It's I really like that matte finish. It's got a laser etch logo there. That's why I can't read it. I think it says M series, but it's like overlaps. Yeah, it looks the part. That'll look really nice with a matte finish guitar, actually. The Gotos tend to be more of a gloss finish. I did just receive this little leaflet postcardy thing with my latest Schaller order from Das Germans. They're actually making the Lockmeister, which is their Floyd Rose. I believe even the Floyd Rose genuines are made by Schaller these days, just rebadged to include the Floyd Rose logo at the factory. But they're actually making them standard in different radii now, which is cool. So 8 inch, I guess, to suit 7 1/4, 10 inch to suit 9 1/2, 12 inch, 14 and 16 in the nuts, and tremolos in 10, 12, 14 and 16 inch radius. So that's cool, because otherwise you've got to go crazy with shims underneath the saddles, and that's a pain in the ass and doesn't look great once you've installed them all, because you see the edge of them. There you go. So that's cool. It only took them till 2025 to do that, but for someone to do that. But you know, better late than never, eh? Because a lot of people do want to install a Floyd Rose, but they don't realise that there's a lot of factors that make it either impossible or very impractical to do so. It's not just a matter of routing the thing and dropping one in. There's all sorts of things that can affect it, like how close your pickup is to your existing bridge, if you've got any stuff on the rear there which is going to get in the way, like battery cavities or anything like that. And also the size of the blocks. Often the block you need for your design of your guitar given the neck angle, especially if it's a set neck. But even, you know, if you don't want to shim your bolt on neck like crazy, you might have to get a aftermarket block manufactured at the right height, because sometimes they're unavailable in the exact setup with the same screw spacing and spring spacing as required. So I get Dave and the boys out the back to machine them for me. They've got a milling engineering shop out the back there with a mill. Nice big solid brass block. Oh god, you can tell it's the end of the year, can't you? Voicey, no worky, no more. So that's all stuff to consider before you go buying bits and pieces. You got to think about this stuff. Don't just buy it, bring it here, and then expect me to somehow make it work, because I often can't. Can't? What did you call me? Yeah, sure enough. Barely even tightened this up with 2 fingers on the screwdriver, and now it's already stripped that bridge plate. So fuck this. It's going back to the customer. Not fit for purpose, not interested. So there you have it. I guess I get so annoyed by this because basically it's a scam, and everyone knows it's a scam, but they just keep getting away with it, and it's not taken seriously. This should be in front of Consumer Affairs. These sellers should get taken down, and if the sellers don't get taken off the platforms should get taken down. It's fucking bullshit that you can sell not fit for purpose crap and just rely on slippage to still make money, because you're getting these things for 50 bucks each or whatever, and you're selling them for 400. It really pisses me off seeing other YouTubers flog this cheap shit as well, and just they conveniently ignore all the problems, or they're too unskilled to recognize them. They play a few whittlies with high action, and then they just, oh yeah, it's the best guitar ever for the money. So yeah, I would just suggest staying off all of those sale platforms. Anything like Amazon, Alibaba, AliExpress, Chimu, all the usual suspects. They're all just scam sites, man. Just don't waste your money, don't waste your time on them. They need to fuck off forever. Hopefully someone does something about it soon, because they're a blight on well, all industries, but the music industry in our focus. So I guess all we can do is revisit whether or not the customer wants to invest in installing this bridge. We could put a little deck of timber in there, glue it in with epoxy, and re-drill those holes. Then you got shit pickups that probably sound like arse. You got all the issues with the frets, but you know, at least you'll be able to play it then, and he's already got the bridge. So I guess that's what we'll ask, and we'll go from there. But if you don't see this again, well, it'll be too soon. Man, even the gauge of the 2 screws for the string tree aren't the same. So if you put one back in the wrong hole, it'll snap the screw off, and the other one will be too loose. Everything's out to get you on these fucking things.